Right now at 4, midterm elections less than 3 weeks away. Early voting now underway in the Tar Heel State with all eyes on the tight Senate race between Ted Budd and Sherry Beasley. Joining us now to discuss these midterms and more is Meet the Press moderator Chuck Todd. Chuck, all right, let's put it all into perspective. Just how important is the North Carolina Senate race when it comes to the balance of power in the U.S. Senate?
Well, it could be the tipping point race. I mean, to be honest, right now I don't see it as a tipping point race. We have narrowed it down to 3 states: Nevada, Georgia, Pennsylvania. The party that wins 2 of those 3, assuming everything else goes to whoever's leading right now, that would decide the Senate. And what do I mean by that? Well, right now I think all of the, if you looked at this through sort of the prism of data and analytics, it certainly looks like Republicans have the slight edge in North Carolina. And if all things stay equal over the next 2.5 weeks, it's probably a narrow Budd win. But Democrats are throwing money in there because some would argue they waited too late to do it. But there's a chance that it could become the tipping point race. And we've seen this before. Look, I'm looking at a couple of things in North Carolina to see whether this does end up as a tipping point race. One is just turnout overall among African Americans. There's a lot of evidence right now in the polls that enthusiasm overall nationally among African Americans is not where it needs to be for Democrats to have a good night. And that I can tell you, if you look at when Democrats win statewide in North Carolina versus when they lose, a lot of it has to do with African American turnout. The second thing I'm looking for in this North Carolina race is what happens with the Libertarian and Green Party candidates. And in particular, if you're Beasley, you're curious about the Libertarian candidate. I think it's very difficult for a Democrat to get to 50 in North Carolina these days. But what if 48% is a winning number, Carolyn? And, you know, what if the Libertarian candidate is pulling 3 or 4 points total? Then suddenly, maybe Beasley can win with a 48.
Meet the Press moderator Chuck Todd, thanks so much. Of course, you can always watch Meet the Press right here Sunday mornings.
All right, Carolyn.